Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Today is a special bonus episode, a dedication episode to a author, mangaka, that has recently passed. And that would be...
Akira Toriyama.
That sounded so unenthused.
Put some respect on that man's name.
Yeah, he passed on March 1st of this year. He was 68 years old.
Which was a good span.
Yeah. I mean, he worked on what was probably the most influential manga of the last 40 years.
Yeah. He also worked on things like Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah, Dragon Quest, Blue Dragon, Chrono Trigger, which was like an old style video game. And then Dr. Slump was like, I think his first thing he did in like the 80s.
We got a monster from his Dragon Ball Z series, or Dragon Ball series, and that will be the Eternal Dragon.
I'm the Eternal Dragon.
Shenron.
Shenron's not the only Eternal Dragon there, monDe.
Geek Gavs. It's not?
Oh, and if you haven't realized, I'm Silver, and we got monDe and Mage in for this special episode since they're Dragon Ball Z fans.
What up?
Yeah.
So we're doing the Eternal Dragon, and so we got Shenron, we got Porunga, and we got the Super Dragon.
Shadow Dragons.
And the Shadow Dragons.
And Super Shenron.
Is it Super Shenron or is it just a Super Dragon?
Said it was Super Shenron.
I genuinely didn't know.
I didn't either. I am not caught up in Super, besides memes and TikToks.
In Japanese, it is Kami no Ryo.
Okay. How should we start? Should we start from Dragon Ball with Shenron?
Yeah, we could go in timeline order of like Dragon Ball to like the Shadow Dragon, or Dragon Ball to Porunga to back to the Shadow Dragons and then to Super.
And thus begins the episode of monDe mispronouncing Porunga every single time.
Porunga.
Still not right.
Ponga.
We'll get there. Don't worry. You'll hear it enough that eventually you'll get it right.
And we all three took our own subjects. So starting with Shenron will be Mage.
Yeah. So Shenron is known as the Eternal Dragon in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. He is incredible in size. Like when they summon him, he changes in size, I believe, like depending on the episode and depending on when like in the series it is, because I think when he first shows up, he's like a mile or so long, maybe. And then when they summon him later on in the series, he surrounds the city. So like he changes in size depending on that. But he's about 470 years old. He possesses the power of the Dragon Balls, which when gathered all together, he is able to be summoned. And then he grants the user 3 wishes. And that changes later in the series depending on, I think at first it's actually 1 wish and then it changes to 3 later on. Yeah, he's just a very, very traditional looking dragon, I would say. He's got like, they look like wood antlers. If you've ever seen like Mushu off of Mulan, he's very similar to that.
Like the standard Asian dragon.
Yeah, I would say so.
Is he a lizard? Does he do a tongue thing?
He doesn't do the tongue thing, but he does have the like mustache thing.
Oh, so he's a wise dragon.
The whiskers, yeah. He's got like very glowing red eyes. It's important that every time he's summoned, the sky becomes dark to signify the like, oh, he's being summoned. And then the Dragon Balls are scattered and they can't be used again for a whole year.
Oh, so he was just summoned like 5 days ago?
Yeah, I believe he was.
There you go.
In the American region, he was summoned somewhere around there.
He summoned a multitude of times during the series. I'm actually not sure how many. I think is it 7? It might just be 7 times total. But basically anytime they do anything and people die, they're like, oh, it's just summon Shenron. There are different versions of him. There's a version of him with what are known as the Black Star Dragon Balls that they find in like Dragon Ball GT, which is, I think, like an offshoot of Shenron, like his corrupted form, but we'll get into that a little later. That's pretty much it.
I got a little bit extra.
Okay.
He was summoned about 13 times.
Oh, wow.
According to the wiki. That's going from before Dragon Ball started from the first wish that was made, which unified the entire country, entire world. It unified it under one leader, who is still the leader, which is King Dog, or King. It's a dog human. That's the king. Yeah. If you look up King of DBZ,
it's just this very like mayoral looking dog.
Yep.
I know they make fun of it in like DBZA in Abridged.
Yeah, but that was the first kind of wish, and then ended up being, according to the wiki, Oolong wishing for panties.
Yep.
Yes.
Upa wishing for his father to come back. King Piccolo wishing to be restored, and then Yamcha.
Yeah, to have his youth.
Then in Z, it had Master Roshi, Mr. Popo, Yamcha again.
Yamcha again.
Oh, yeah, Yamcha was the one that used the wishes to get everyone back from Namek.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he also wished him for everybody that got killed by Cell.
Yeah, so he did that. Yeah, that was him both times. And then Krillin used it to, what is it, either not make the androids human, to like take the bombs out of them or something.
He tried to make the android human.
Yeah, and they couldn't.
Yeah. So did you know Shenron died?
When did Shenron die?
When King Piccolo blasted him.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. That was at the end of Dragon Ball, right? Well, in the final arc of Dragon Ball.
When Kid Goku fought him?
Yeah.
Do you know how long it takes for the Dragon Balls to recharge before you can use them again?
1 year.
364 days.
I think you're miscalculating on your days in a year there, monDe.
There's a leap year in there somewhere.
I also think it's really cool. They like not change his powers, but like he evolves, I guess, like because the whole basis of the story is like they get stronger and get better and everything. He evolves with them too, which is really cool. Like in Dragon Ball Superhero, he gives Piccolo like the same power the Namekian guru gave Krillin and Gohan, where he like unlocked their latent potential, and Piccolo just became so strong because of it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
When he became Orange Piccolo. For those of you who haven't seen the movie yet, spoiler alert, go watch the movie.
It's been 3 years. Like,
has it been 3 years?
It's been something like that.
It feels like only yesterday we went and watched it in theaters.
2022, so it's been 2 years.
So it's still within the spoiler content.
Is it though? I feel like if you're a DBZ fan, you've seen it. Like,
what was that? That wasn't me.
I knocked something off my desk. It's the like wrist guard for my keyboard.
How'd Shenron come to be on Earth?
I don't know. I assume you know, which is why you're telling us.
You don't know?
No. What happened?
Would monDe like to explain?
So, from what I remember, is Dragon Balls came to Earth because Piccolo left Namek as like normal full Piccolo, came to Earth, made a deal with the Earth's Guardian at the time, and they were like, no, fuck you, you're too good, too evil, you can't be a Guardian. So then Piccolo was like, oh, okay, so I'll split. So then Kami was born, and Piccolo went off on his merry way, and then the Earth Guardian and Kami were all like, oh, okay, here, let's make Dragon Balls, because we have these on my planet. And then
because Kami was, which is still is weird, because there's like the 3 clans on Namek, and Kami, who was just born, was apparently a member of the Dragon Clan, which creates Dragon Balls, which is really odd.
Do you know why Shenron has the design he has?
No.
So the process for creating Dragon Balls, or according to Dende, was in order for Dende to make the Dragon Balls come back, he was able to do some chanting and he made the Dragon Balls, but he needed the stone Dragon Balls originally, and he needed a sculpture of a dragon. The one who made Shenron was Mr. Popo.
Of course it was.
Mr. Popo is the dragon's daddy.
I can't wait for you to watch DBZ Bridge because that makes so much more sense now.
Mr. Popo was the one who sculpted out Shenron to be used.
I'm just thinking back to all those moments now in the series, and everything makes so much more sense. Okay, that's cool. Do we have anything else for base Shenron?
Dende's Shenron is the 3-wish Shenron.
Yeah, Kami's was 1 wish, but with Kami's you could bring back multiple people.
Yeah.
With 1 wish.
It was a matter of separating out the dragon's wishing power.
Yeah.
What Dende said in the show.
Yeah, so he has like you can't do multi-res essentially.
Could you combine all three to make one large wish?
I think you can combine 2 to make a large wish, if I remember right. But I know they changed like you can't do immortality at that point when he has it. Because they did that during the Cell arc, and they were worried because Frieza's whole thing was
Immortality?
I'm gonna become immortal. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys want to go to Porunga?
Sure. Porunga's all yours.
Yeah, Porunga.
So Porunga is the Namekian dragon. He is older than Shenron because he was first, technically. No, he was second, technically,
Mm-hmm.
because Super Dragon was first. But Porunga is more of a muscular bodybuilding dragon. He takes more of the form of like a Naga or like a serpentine humanoid. He's got 2 upper buff forearms. He's got the standard horns and I believe he's got the mustache as well. Guru was the original guardian of Namek. The Namekian Dragon Balls are also larger than the Earth ones.
Yeah. The Earth ones are they're like the size of a baseball. And then the Namekian ones you see granted he's a child, but you see Gohan like carrying it like it's a beach ball.
Yes. That's an accurate size description I was trying to think of. A beach ball to baseball.
I gotcha.
The Namekian balls are the Namekian Dragon
Porunga's balls are.
This has to be an abridged thing too.
That's a much better way to describe it.
Porunga's Dragon Balls are also larger, but they're also stronger than the Earth Balls.
Yeah, they are.
They seem to have a bit more power in their wishing ability because they are used several times to kind of restore the planet after it's been destroyed. Also, Porunga seems to be more impatient, but also have a sense of humor because he told them if they can't think of anything to wish for, to just wish for nothing 3 times and let him go.
So don't waste my motherfucking time. I got important eternal dragon shit to do.
Even though he is kind of impatient, he's still more patient than Shenron and a little better temper.
Shenron was a fucking asshole.
It also seems like Porunga is opposed of killing anybody that's good of heart because they kind of wished for Goku to come back with Porunga's Dragon Balls, but Goku was still alive and bringing him back would have killed him. So Porunga told him no.
Wait, what would bringing him back have killed him?
Because it would have brought him back to the planet where he died on, and Namek was already gone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. In the wiki, it says, when Porunga was asked to bring Goku's soul to the check-in station in the other world, as Goku was thought to have died from the explosion of Namek, Porunga refused to grant the wish, as doing so would remove Goku's soul from his still living body, killing him.
That's fair. Especially because Goku was the reason that Frieza didn't become immortal.
Well, technically that's not why Frieza didn't become immortal.
I thought that was Dende.
He became immortal because he didn't know the password to use the Dragon Balls or speak Namekian.
Yeah, he did not speak Namekian because Dende and Frieza made the wish at the same time, but Porunga only listens to Namekian wishes. That's why Dende had to translate all the wishes for the Z Fighters.
Gotcha.
Also, Vegeta didn't get immortality through the third wish of Porunga because Guru died at the exact same time.
Make me immortal or I'll murder his parents. Joke's on
That's
you.
right, because the dragon's life is linked to the Guardians.
Yes. Oh, we didn't mention that with regular Shenron too. Regular Shenron, that's really important because he's linked to Kami, and Kami dies at the... When does Kami die?
Kami dies whenever Piccolo dies.
Yeah.
Which is a real design flaw in the whole splitting your body into 2 thing.
Because
Right.
Piccolo is he killed by Nappa, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Nappa kills him, and then the Dragon Balls go away, which is why they have to go to Namek.
Yeah.
Because Piccolo jumps in the way of Nappa's blast when he's trying to fry Gohan.
Mm-hmm. because he's a softie.
That's the whole reason the Namekian saga started.
Yeah.
Piccolo dies again in the what's the next saga he dies in? Boo?
X after that, it's the android. So yeah, Boo Saga be the next one.
There's some time in Cell that he dies, and I can't remember when it is. Or no, they don't have Dragon Balls in the Cell saga for a little bit after he absorbs Kami. After Piccolo and Kami fuse, they don't have Dragon Balls because Kami's gone.
That's right. That's when Dende takes over.
Yep. Then they meet Cell and they're like, oh, fuck, we live in a world without Dragon Balls. Because I remember, oddly enough, DBZ Abridged, when Trunks comes back and they're like, oh, no, we live in a world without Dragon Balls. And Future Trunks is like, yeah, that's really sad, I guess. Like, I'm from an apocalyptic timeline, you fuck. I think the other thing, too, if you compare the sizes, so Shenron, when he's summoned, is like I said, he's a little longer. He's like a mile long or so in the sky. When you summon Porunga, he's like over the horizon. Like, he's so big.
He is super large.
I'm sure if you like approach the planet after you summon him, you could see him from like outer space.
I think from what I read, if I can remember right, because I didn't write this in my notes because I'm not sure why, but the Namekians got a hold of the Dragon Ball's power because they were able to take pieces of the Super Dragon Ball because they were so good of nature, and they used them kind of to help their land grow, if I remember right.
Yeah, almost like reverse engineering the power.
Yeah, so they took a little bit of the Super Dragon Ball's power, then Kami and Piccolo took a little bit of those dragons' power and took it to Earth.
Yeah, very cool. They're just colonizing dragons out here.
Pretty much. And do you think Guru made the statue to make Porunga?
I would assume, yeah.
Or would be an older dragon.
I'm sure the elders all do that.
It kind of looks like Guru if you squint your eyes and just added dragon facial features to Guru.
It's what I imagine Guru looked like 200 years ago and with a gym membership.
Back when he walked.
Another thing's timeline-wise. So the Earth's Dragon Balls took a whole year to be reusable. The Namekian Dragon Balls only takes 130 days.
Yeah, it's because that's the year cycle of Namek, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Sounds right. But even when the Namekian Dragon was on Earth, it was still only 130 days, because that's when they brought back Chasu Tien and Yamcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Namekians are all just chilling on Earth for like a month.
Didn't the Earth Balls also turn to stone after their use?
Yes, for a year.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
In the beginning, before they revamped the Dragon Balls, they'd make a wish and they'd fly off and turn to stone.
I remember them flying off. They would shoot up in the air and like scatter. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember them turning to stone. That's really cool.
That's why Goku had to move fast in Dragon Ball, because he actually jumped up to catch the 4-star ball before it flew off, and it turned to stone in his hand.
Very cool.
Porunga was also seen in the Cell Saga and Majin Buu Saga, even after the Namekians left Earth, because King Kai asked the Namekians to summon Porunga in order to restore his planet after Goku blew it up with Cell. And Goku and King Kai was going to make it bigger, but Goku butted in and wanted it the exact same size.
What an asshole.
Oh, in the Majin Buu Saga, Vegeta actually, when the fight was looking bleak against Kid Buu, he asked Dende to ask Old Kai to ask Kibito and Kibito Kai to go to New Namek and gather the Namekian Dragon Balls to summon Porunga and to grant 2 wishes. The first one was to restore Earth to its original state after being blown up by Kid Buu, and to revive all those who have died the day of the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament, except for those with evil hearts, to prevent Babidi and Deborah from being resurrected. But as you can think, this kind of goes against Porunga's rule of reviving one person at a time.
Yeah.
But since Guru died, we got a new Guardian.
Who was their new Guardian at that point?
It was Mori.
Oh yeah. Yes.
The one that learned to golf.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
worry, you'll meet him in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yeah, well, Mori became the new guardian and revealed to them that Porunga's powers got upgraded, so he could in fact revive more than one person at the same time.
Very cool.
Now, if that is not a what's that fancy term, Mage? I know monDe won't know it.
That's not a
Plot twist? Plot armor?
It's kind of like plot armor, but it's MacGuffin.
Oh, it is. Yeah, for sure.
MacGuffin?
MacGuffin.
If that's not a
For
MacGuffin,
sure,
I wouldn't really
MacGuffin.
know what it is. It's like, oh yeah, we upgraded his power so that he can actually revive more than one person at the same time.
Plot armor is a really good word for it as well. It's 100%. They just like, let's change this to make it more convenient for the series. It's exactly like how Super Saiyan was supposed to be just the most pinnacle form, and they were like, oh, by the way, this 7-year-old child can do it too.
When did the legendary Super Saiyan get demoted to a child's plaything?
Anything.
So he went from being able to revive one person during the Frieza saga to reviving groups of people.
Oh, and then Porunga, I don't think makes an appearance because I don't think they actually do it. But in oh shoot,
Bang.
the Galactic Patrol Prisoner saga in Super, Moro tried to go to New Namek to summon Porunga in order to like I think either become the strongest in the universe or something like that.
I don't think the Galactic Patrol saga is animated yet. I think that's just manga only.
Yeah, I think it is.
Then he does show up, or he is said to kind of show up a little bit in the Supers, Dragon Ball Super, because Porunga was used to separate Kibito and Shin.
Shin. Oh, is that Supreme Kai's?
Yeah.
Used to be Kibito Kai.
Kibito Kai.
Because they used the Patara earrings.
Out of curiosity.
Yeah, which are supposed to be permanent.
Supposed to be permanent.
Yeah, they're the only characters that ever use them that it's actually permanent.
That's not true.
Who else does it?
Elder Kai. Elder Kai fused with the witch, and that was permanent.
Okay.
That's how he became Elder Kai.
Fair.
And didn't Goku Black fuse with the Kai?
Yeah,
he
Zamasu.
fuses Zamasu.
Yeah. Oh no,
that
wasn't
was
he
better.
wished to go into? Didn't Zamasu use the dragons to wish to be in his body?
Zamasu used Super Shenron to switch bodies with Goku of his universe, then killed Goku's family, then partnered up with the Goku from that timeline, or the Zamasu from that timeline, and been like, yo, hey, we're both Zamasu, we're the same person, our goals are the same, let's go.
That whole thing was a fucking fever dream. You know that the writers were just like, how can we make an evil Goku? And they were, of all the ways, they were like, this is the hardest way, and we're gonna make it work.
You know what would have been worse than Zamazetsu using Super Dragon Balls? Just
What's
bring Captain Ginyu back.
Oh, you mean like they did in the
movie?
Yep.
But he just looked fucking stupid.
Oh.
Anything else for Porunga?
He was used to reverse the effects of the Black Star Dragon Balls.
What?
Yeah.
That one I don't remember.
I mean, it happens every time.
GT was also a fever dream, when Earth's Dragon
the
Balls.
The entire series was a fever dream.
That's when Akira Toriyama's editors just let him do what he wanted.
Yeah. And to be fair, a lot of the pieces of it are really cool. It's just like,
yeah,
once you get to the final puzzle, you're like, oh, okay.
I actually like GT.
I thought it was cool.
GT was good.
I think it's cool, like, if you watch the arc separate, if you watch the whole series, that's a really weird explanation of it. Like, the different arcs are cool. I just don't like the whole series. Like, the filler and all the extra stuff, I'm just not into.
Like when they go to the mechanical planet.
Yeah, they go to the planet with the whip guy. They go to the one planet where basically all the stuff where they're hopping around planets.
The dice game planet.
So weren't the Black Star Dragon Balls separated across the universe? And that's why they had to go to these different weird planets?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that still kind of makes sense plot wise, which brings us into the Black Star Dragons.
Yeah. So what Silver is referring to is in Dragon Ball GT, which is the like stepbrother of Dragon Ball Dragon Ball Z. We don't like to talk about it, but it's pretty cool. Where they get back to Earth and they use the Dragon Balls, and they notice that the Dragon Balls are cracked, and for some reason they're like, "This is really weird." It turns out because of overuse of the Dragon Balls, they had gained evil energy. Normally, that energy is dispersed over the course of a year because you have a year to use them. Usually, it's longer than that because people have to find all 7 of these balls across the planet. But now that you have a dragon radar, it's really easy to do in a day. So before, it was easier for them to disperse this evil energy. Instead, what happened is that energy became too much. And when they tried to use the Dragon Balls, a giant black smoke dragon appeared, which was a smoke Shenron. It was called Black Smoke Shenron. Very evil version of Shenron. They, again, because it was the negative energy buildup and everything, he took each of the Dragon Balls and molded them into a dragon I think they're based on some of the previous wishes that were made, but I don't know exactly which was like which. But I know they were based on like those old wishes that were made. So there were 7 of them. There was Rage Shenron, Haze Shenron, Oceanus Shenron, Naturon Shenron. Those ones aren't super important, I guess. There's Ice Shenron, which is pretty important. He was very strong. He actually froze Goku in a block of ice, blinded him, and froze his arm solid. And then there was Nuova Shenron, who was the 4-star embodiment. He was also the embodiment of the wish that gave Piccolo his youth back. And because of that, he was very talented like fighter, and he fought Goku to a standstill and then ended up joining them. And then the last one is Sin Shenron, who becomes Omega Shenron after absorbing the other Dragon Balls, who's very much the strongest of them. But they're each an evil dragon, essentially, that fights Goku with different powers. Like I said, the first 4 are very, kind of meh. And the last 3 are very strong. Omega Shenron almost blows up the planet if it wasn't for some plot bullshit with Vegeta becoming a Super Saiyan 4 and fusing with Goku. And then at the end of that, the Dragon Balls are, as Silver mentioned, Porunga heals the Dragon Balls, returns them to normal, and then Goku flies off with Shenron. His positive energy actually counteracts the negative energy of the Dragon Balls, allowing them to be used. Still being able to be used.
But were they used? Because didn't the balls get absorbed into Goku, and Goku flew off to Dragon Realm with Shenron?
Yeah, but it was they were allowed to make more Dragon Balls.
Just not those Dragon Balls.
Yeah, just not those ones. But him doing that
was still around.
Yeah, Porunga was still around. There was a thing where when the original wish was made to turn Goku into a child, the Dragon Balls were going to blow up the planet after a year if they weren't found. So that was essentially like Goku counteracting that ability. So he was able to cancel all the negative things that the Dragon Balls were going to do.
Those were a different set of Dragon Balls.
Weren't they? Were those the Black Star ones?
The Black Star ones are the ones that turned Goku into a child and went all over the universe.
Are those also the ones that cracked, though? I thought they were the same.
No. The ones that crack were the Earth's Dragon Balls, because normally they would turn to stone, and it would prevent Earthlings, even if they gathered them, to do wishing. But once the Dragon Radar was made and the new Dragon Balls were made, then they could continuously find them and wish, and that's what made all the energy start building up in them so quickly.
Gotcha.
And then the Black Star Balls were up on the lookout where Pilaf found them, and then was going to make a wish. That's what summoned Red Shenron with the Black Star Balls, and was like, I wish you were a child. Which the Black Star Balls actually were almost like an evil dragon, because that Shenron is stronger and can kill people. So you can actually grant wishes to kill.
I was going to ask you what happened to them. I don't remember what happened to Black Star Dragon Balls.
I believe they blew up with the Earth because they didn't get the Earth saved in time, I believe.
Wow. I have to watch GT again.
GT is from early 2000s, so it's not.
It also, fun fact, in the US was very hard to watch for a long time.
We actually got our hands on a
Jesus.
Dragon Ball GT game for the PlayStation or PlayStation 2 from Circuit City.
It was
Really?
PlayStation 1, I believe, right? It was GT Final Bout.
I just knew it was in Japanese, and we understood none of it. But it was
But we
fun
could
to
see
play.
all the Super Saiyan transformations while Dragon Ball Z was still playing before Namek.
Fair.
Yeah, so we
It
didn't
was
know
like-
what GT was at the time.
He was like,
Yeah.
when is he going to go into 4?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Goku could easily mop this guy.
I believe we still got the disc somewhere.
Probably.
It was
Oh, yeah, that's
also GT was a terrible with the how to actually do combos and stuff, if I'm right.
Yes. It was almost like Mortal Kombat where you got to hit like 70 buttons to do one thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I have for the Shadow Dragons. Like I said, the first 4 weren't very prominent, and then Nuova Shenron kind of joined Goku and was very helpful to them, and then Ice Shenron was not. And Goku ended up killing him, and then Sin Shenron, who became Omega Shenron, killed Nuova. So, very sad times.
And I don't believe GT's canon anymore.
No, it was renounced, essentially.
So
Because
we'll go on to the next canon, which is Dragon Ball Super, which brings in the Super Dragon Balls and Super Shenron.
Yeah, that's what I looked up. From what I was able to dig up, the Super Dragon Balls are the original set of Dragon Balls, and they were created by somebody named Zalamal in the year 41 of the Divine Calendar. So if you can look up a Divine Calendar, that's when they were created.
So roughly about 2 years from yesterday.
2 years from yesterday. Something like that.
Somebody's yesterday.
They created Super Shenron, which the Dragon Balls are the size of planets. People guesstimate that Zalamal's home was between universes 7 and 6, which is why Champa is out collecting the Dragon Balls.
You said Choppa?
Yeah.
Champa.
Yeah.
Champa.
Yeah, Champa.
Who's Champa?
That's
Beerus'
Beerus'
brother.
That's it. You gotta explain a little more. I'm behind on Super.
That's like, I guess. But yeah. So, yeah, he made the Dragon Balls. And then I believe there was only been 2 wishes made on these 3? 4? Probably
I think
4.
in the anime, yeah.
4 wishes made. One was for a really comfy pillow made by Lord Beerus. But the next one of them was 17's wish to restore all the universes that Zenny obliterated.
Zeno?
Yeah, Zenny.
I actually think that is what Goku calls them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zennies.
The third one was for Zamsu to take over Goku's body. And the fourth one was Zamasu Kai version, wishing for immortality.
Yeah, that became really when you watch the Kai version versus regular, it gets super fucky.
Dragon Ball Kai, isn't that just a reworked plot work of Dragon Ball Z to make it more cohesive? And
I think so. I think it's like an edited version.
I thought Dragon Ball Z Kai was more children-friendly Dragon Ball because they blooped out all the blood with mud.
it might be. Maybe just I don't know much about television reworking, so
Yeah,
this is a monster podcast.
monDe, what does the form of Super Shenron look like?
Super Shenron looks like the best way I can describe this guy is like someone took Porunga and Shenron and just added beefier like shoulders on them and multiple wings, and he's golden.
The wings are like bat wings, right?
I believe so.
Are they fluffy? Are they leathery? Are they feathery?
They're bat wings with spikes all down his back, and it looks like he's got 2 praying mantis claws, or for arms. I can put it in the Discord for our viewers.
Yeah, they're like on top of the wings.
No, the wings are separated from the pointy things.
I don't know what you're looking at.
His arms are the wings, I think.
Yeah.
They're coming off the top. I had to
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
a different view of him.
They got the bat-like claws that bats have on their wings to keep a hold of stuff.
Yeah. He is very bat-like.
Mm-hmm.
He's also very, he's got the thing. I just had that Pokemon's name. Victorious?
Oh, Victini?
Yeah, he's got Victini's head crown.
Yeah, the V shape.
Well, this is the dragon that can bring back universes, so he could probably restore the life
multiple
of
at a time.
Kabillions.
I'd say he's probably the coolest of the dragons, looking wise.
for
Then
sure.
Porunga and then Shenron.
Porunga probably hasn't beat, though, when it comes to Arm Day.
Yeah.
Oh, he also only speaks in the divine language.
Yes.
So you're saying that each dragon can speak only in its language of the creator?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking.
Porunga speaks Namekian for wishes. Super Dragon speaks divinity.
Yeah,
divine.
the divine language is what it's called. Language of the gods.
Shenron speaks Earth.
English, yeah.
Yeah, it could be Japanese.
Yeah, fair. True.
I'm going to guess when the first used to unify the world, they unified the language because everybody around the world seems to understand each other in the Dragon Ball universe.
That's about right.
So the Earthling language.
Yeah, the divine language is a language spoken only by deities and other certain people like the angels.
The summoning for the for Super Shenron is, "Come forth, dragon of the gods, and grant my wish, pretty peas." But in the show, it is changed to peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
And finally, we got our worst Shenron, which we will go to media time now. The worst Shenron is in media.
What other Shenron is there?
There's the live action Shenron.
Oh my god, don't bring this up.
I shall post him in the Discord because he just looks like an angry Komodo dragon.
I don't want to see it.
I've never watched this movie all the way through, and I can't bring myself to do it.
I got it on DVD.
It is the whole reason I hate all.
Oh my fucking god! What is that?
I won't watch anime live action after all these.
What the?
I've got myself to watch Death Note, but it's only because I've never seen Death Note in anime form.
Fair. I have not either.
Death Note in anime form is pretty good. It is overthinking the anime.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Shenron now because you guys have intrigued me. I want this to die. I want it to go away and never see the light of day again.
I'm cheering for King Piccolo versus this Shenron.
Jesus fucking Christ. King Piccolo. Hold on. Let's. We'll talk about that in a second of how bad live action is. Because we'll go off on a tangent with that.
Let's do media first before we get into the mayhem tangent.
Yep.
Okay.
So pretty much Shenron is in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Pretty much every Dragon Ball game and media because it is a core part of the story.
My favorite thing of how they incorporate it into the games is I remember like Tenkaichi 3, how you would randomly you would complete a mission or whatever and you would just randomly get a ball. And then you eventually collect all 7 just randomly and you can wish for new characters.
Yes.
That was so cool.
Like Goku.
Yeah.
From Budokai 2. That's the only game he shows up in.
Yeah. Thank God.
I liked Goku.
Shut up. He was awful.
Tickle Beam.
The only thing I can think of with those games is when, I can't remember if it's in 1 or 2, when Cell absorbs Krillin.
Yeah, that's the same one as Goku, so Budokai 2.
Okay. The Budokai games were top tier of the Dragon Ball franchise.
Yeah, for sure.
They just need to bring back some of the classic fan art mixtures.
They are making the 4th installment of the Budokai Tenkaichi series.
Ooh.
Budokai Sparking Zero.
Is that what it's called?
I believe so.
They better have Goku.
I can't believe they would, and I hope they don't.
For those that don't know what Goku is, it's a Patara fusion of Goku and Hercule.
It's an abomination that should never see the light of day again.
You mean like Majin Buu absorbing Cell?
Yeah.
Where he looks like a pink cheetah?
I saw the fan art of that, and I never wanted to come again. Wasn't there the Tien Yamcha fusion as well?
Yeah. And their special move was Wolf Fang Volleyball Fist. I can't remember crap I learned in school, but all this stuff is like stored up here. It's just all trigger memories.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of the dragons actually made cameos or showed up in any other anime and manga works.
I don't think so.
I know references to DBZ showed up in others, like Codename Kids Next Door had DBZ references in it.
Yeah,
Yes,
with
it did.
number 4 had like the giant hair.
Billy and Mandy also had one.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy had a Dragon Ball referencing in it.
And the most recent one I can think of is that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Of course, there's one in there.
Because Veldora, the storm dragon, comes in. This is a spoiler for the end of season 2. If you don't want to listen to that, skip ahead a couple seconds. But Veldora, the storm dragon, is using like Hadoken, and then after he's done with using Hadoken, Street Fighter type moves, he goes Kamehameha. He actually does the full Kamehameha
Very funny.
because he learned it in manga.
I think there's also, this is really weird, but I don't know why it's sticking in my brain. Fairly Odd Parents. I think the movie where they're like channel surfing. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And they have one in that too.
Yep, they got to like a fighting arena.
Yeah, it was like a martial arts thing, and I think it was they do like I remember them doing like a beam blast. And I think it's supposed to be based on DBZ. Yeah, I don't think Shenron is in any other one.
No, it was just like the moves and spiky hair.
Yeah.
Shenron's kind of a major key plot point in DBZ, but also a minor character.
Mm-hmm.
Shenron is the MacGuffin of the DBZ universe.
100%. Oh, Deadpool references him all the time, too. I forgot about that.
In the comics or the show?
In the comics.
Makes sense. We can move on to Mayhem.
Shenron would blow up any universe he chose. So base Shenron, I don't think is able to destroy much. He's more based on like creation and everything like that.
I don't think Shenron or Porunga is meant to destroy.
No,
I think they're both too kind-hearted. Good.
I agree.
But would you have to gather all 7 Dragon Balls?
What do you mean?
If Shenron was real, if Shenron, Shenlong, and Porunga were real, would they be in Dragon Ball form, or would they just be roaming around? I think you'd have to collect all 7 Dragon Balls to find them.
I would think so. That would make sense.
My next question is, do you think the world would know of Shenron?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because in the show, they talk about how they don't, like, nobody knows about him.
Yeah.
Because every time,
Well,
go ahead.
There's a handful of people that do know about him, like the Red Ribbon Army knew about capturing the Dragon Balls to make their wish. General Tao, the mercenary. The villagers where Goku went to go find that. I think it was the 4-star ball was there below Korn's tower.
Yeah.
Because they just knew of the legend, but it was just a legend because they were scattered.
Yeah, they didn't know exactly.
The legend would be out there. It's just the factor of finding it.
I want to say it's probably similar to, like, I don't even know what you would really say it's similar to.
Similar to modern mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bigfoot, maybe.
I think it's closer to like the thylacine, more modern day cryptids where, hey, this thing could have been here. Like, this was alive at one point and then it's no longer around because they're scattered and no one here's these artifacts. Oh, yeah. They might do something together.
Maybe. They might do something or they might not.
Maybe everybody knows about them and then there'll be a more world fighting over them. People in the world fighting over them. That'd be the chaos he'd cause.
I was gonna say, I think the chaos he would cause is like you get your typical like your people who believe in like religion reasons who would be like, oh, he's God. Like this is our God now.
Technically, he is a god. The Eternal
Yeah.
Dragon is. He's of the divine realm. Wait, wasn't in DBZ Super, the movie with Beerus when he first appeared, wasn't Shenron afraid of Beerus?
Yes.
Okay.
We forgot about that.
He even goes so far as calling him Lord Beerus. He was giving him information for free without wishes, and then was scared to leave.
You know, it'd be interesting. Is Shenron in like a college setting? Is is each like club activity leader had one Dragon Ball? Then did make any decision? They just all come together, summon him once a year.
Yeah.
We wish for this resolution to be resolved.
Tell us what we need to do.
Get all A's. Done.
Or they'd wish for like everyone in the Monster University to get along once a year because all the new recruits coming in. Be like a spell on the college, keep them hidden. That's how Monster Campus is hidden.
Yeah, it's like it's in the it's on the lookout.
Anything else, you guys?
I don't think so. I think that's about it. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.
Yes. May one day the Dragon Balls bring you back.
Which we still know the results of whoever wished these last wish during the eclipse.
It wasn't me.
See.
My Dragon Balls did not work.
You the little ones.
Yes.
I forgot those were a thing.
Oh, yes. Of course I have the Dragon Balls.
Okay, then. With that, we'll wrap up the episode. We'll thank our patrons, monDe, Mage, Ruby, and Nuggies.
Yeah!
And I was going to give a shout out to whoever commented on our Twitter because I was doing kind of like a guest at random bonus monster thing. No one guessed.
Boo.
So, try to do a fun thing. Maybe next bonus episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, X, I guess. If the younger people who don't know what Twitter are, doesn't know what Twitter is or was.
I don't. I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter.
At this point, you should probably just start an Instagram or one of them their TikToks. Younger generation seem to be going after that.
We do have a TikTok now. I haven't posted nothing on it yet, and I was thinking about starting an Instagram, but being an audio format, it's hard to think of visuals for it. But anyways, Chaos still working on the third episode for our patrons. Alrighty then. Well, we'll see you next episode.
I wish this episode would end.
Wish granted.
Thank you for listening to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Silver and Chaotic take you into the depth of the lore and discuss how these legends could affect modern-day society. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or almost any podcast service easiest to you. Dive into the depths of chaos with us every Wednesday, bar Silver and Chaotic not missing their scheduling, and consider joining the podcast Discord or Twitter following even more insider looks and even some D&D sessions. If you'd like some extra special inside looks or even want to be a guest on the show, consider helping us via Patreon. Your help makes such a big difference to us both. Until next time, Mythics, you never know what kind of mayhem we might get into.